Hello everyone, I hope your week is going well so far. My name is Rosalind Streeter. I am a seer and prophet of God to the nations, and I am back with another vision and dream, okay? And this one is really gonna excite you. So welcome to the journey of vision, where you will soon learn it's just so much easier with God. All right, you guys, let's chat. Okay guys, so we're gonna dive right in. Listen, this is so exciting, and you will not believe. God gave me a prophetic dream and a vision. It's something that we have been waiting for, I will say, especially because it kind of ties in a lot of the videos that he has already given me, from riding the wave to the numbers to the massive wealth transfer. It's just so much involved here. And you know, I encourage you just listen to the full video and just really take notes, especially when it comes to the numbers itself. Okay. Now, also, because I am providing numbers, please seek God as far as what I am giving you, like I always tell you. This is part two. This is part two of God is speaking to you. Make sure you check out part one, because it's very vital, especially with confirming maybe something that God has been speaking to you about. And this one is called Come See What God Has Allowed Me to See, you guys. Like, this is going to, I pray this gives you hope and just confirms a lot as far as like even how this is going to happen. Okay, so we're talking about Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is actually a crypto coin. He's been leading me with this coin ever since he called me into, you know, starting the YouTube and telling, you know, talking about the massive wealth transfer. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to, I believe it's the second video that I made when I first started. And it actually is when God woke me up and he said that he had a massive wealth transfer that is going to take place. And he's giving us all instructions on how we would be able to reap those benefits. And so he literally tells you everything, all the way down to a prayer, all the way down to repenting. So, you know, and what you want to be cautious about as well, even down to tithes. And so this is literally God breath. Like he literally was just talking to me, and I wrote it down, and then I started the YouTube and put it up there. And this is how the journey of vision started, right? He even gave me the name. So that was a side note, but I just kind of want to give you, if you're just coming on and maybe you don't really understand what's going on, because I don't want you to miss it, please just reference that video to grasp what's happening, so you don't miss it. Okay. All right. So you guys, part two, let's get it. Okay. So here we go. All right, so I just remember me and my hubby, we were sitting on the bed, okay? And interesting enough, we had our phones. So he had his phone, I had my phone. And we were actually, I don't know if it was like maybe about to get ready for bed, but I know we were sitting there and we were watching something. So we were watching TV as we were sitting up, okay? As we're watching TV, there was 3 people on this channel, and it looked like maybe like a news station, right? We don't really watch the news, so this was very odd for us to be looking at, you know, TV the way we were. So as we're watching the news, there's 3 people, right? There's 3 people sitting there behind a desk, so they had their phones too, and you can tell they were so excited. And they was actually talking about Shiba Inu, okay? And as they were talking about it, you know, I'm looking down at my phone and I start to see the numbers go up, okay? And so they're looking, they're excited. They're talking about, y'all, they're on the news, they're talking about how SHIB is going up, okay? And so as it's going up, it's going up, going up, watching it, watching. And I was like, oh, wow, like, you know, telling my husband, like, it's going up. So I watch it go all the way up to 0.01. Okay, it was right around 0.01. And from what I watched, it's like it stopped right at right around 0.01. Okay, then it dropped. Okay, so it went right back down. So it was different when it went down, because I couldn't tell you how far it went down, but it seemed like it was real far, only because there was like this M on it was like an M on my phone, or some type of error message that, like, just in my spirit, I just knew it went down, a decent amount that would cause my phone not to even show it to me. Okay, if that makes sense. And so again, I don't know how far it went down. I couldn't tell you, but I can definitely tell you it went down. So it went to 0.01, and then it went down, right? So as it goes down, I'm still watching, the people on the news, and like we were watching it. Now, as I'm watching the people on the news, in my right hand corner of my dream, I just could see it in my vision, I saw 900. Okay, all right, so I saw 900. So then all of a sudden I start to see SHIB go back up. So it starts to go back up. It's creeping up, right? So as it goes back up, I was like, okay, thinking about 0.01, Well, when it went past 0.01 this time. And when it went past 0.01, I was thinking, okay, is it going to go to 0.06? Because that's the number that God has given me. And if you can look at my previous videos to see that. And so I'm thinking like, oh, 0.06, right? So is it going there? So as it goes back, as it goes up, it goes past 0.06. And I was like, oh, wow, like, okay, it hit 0.06. So then when it went past 0.06, it kept going, and it kept going, and then it went all the way to $1. Okay, so as soon as it hits $1, I was like shocked, because 0.06 all the way to $1, that's definitely a great increase. So when it goes to $1, I'm just still looking. I'm looking at the numbers go up, and I was like, oh wow, where is it going to go now, right? That's kind of what I was thinking in my mind, just kind of watching the scale go up. So as it goes up even further, my next thought was, okay, is it going to go to 1.89, which is the other number God gave me? Okay. And so, and just a side note, remember the part 1, how people were getting numbers, right? They were getting numbers. Okay. So stay with me here. So it goes past $1, going up. I'm thinking it's going to go to 1.89. I'm just waiting for 1.89, right? It shoots past 1.89, y'all. And guess what it lands on? 1.99. Does that ring a bell? If you watch part 1, I believe the woman, God kept giving her, felt like she kept getting this number, 1.99. That's what she said. And interesting enough, in this dream, God shows me it went past 1.89, which is what God showed me, and it went to 1.99. Okay. So at this point, I'm like, oh, where is it going to go now, right? And so it kept going, and it went from 1.99, it went all the way to 3.31. But it was like a split second that it stopped on 3.31. And I believe the reason why that happened is because if you look at my part 1 video, in the other dream, when God showed me the man with the little boy and how he kept getting the number 331 and he couldn't make sense out of it, I think God wanted me to tie these dreams in together to say, hey, I am giving you these numbers, you guys, so you can sow into these numbers for you and your children children, you guys, the Abrahamic blessing. Like God is saying, like, hey, I'll wake up, like I am speaking to you. And this is not for everybody, but what I'm telling you is the people who God is speaking to when it comes to these numbers, when it comes to crypto, the wealth transfer, this is nothing, what I'm telling you is nothing but confirmation. So then when it went to 3.31, it was like a split second and it stopped there. Then you guys, it kept going up. So I'm just watching it, like I'm just watching the numbers just go and change and change, and it just kept going, kept going, kept going. So at this point, it's kind of like the dream shift a little bit more so to a vision. Okay, so within the dream, it was like I was in it and I could, you know, see myself in the dream. But the next part of it, it's more of a vision. It was like God took me to this high place where I can actually see what was going on. Okay, and so where we were, it was like some type of store. So I could kind of see the store and see what was going on. In the store, there was a man, and he was there with his wife and his child. Okay, and so he had his phone too. And so I'm watching him, and I knew he invested because he was like so excited. And I don't know what number, you know, or what orders he put in, but I could tell it filled, and he could see it because he was working a job, and it was like you could tell like a janitor job or some type of like you're cleaning the floors type job in the store, and his family was just there. And so he saw it as soon as his orders filled, you guys. I saw him. He was so excited with his wife and his child, and they literally left. Like, I guess he just said, forget it, I'm quitting my job, I'm out of here. And he walks out the store. Okay, as soon as he walks out the store, they come out the door and they go to the left. And so they just start walking up the sidewalk. So I'm watching, you know, him walk up the sidewalk with his wife. And if I'm not mistaken, they were like holding hands and everything. And I was just like, just happy for them. I just have all this fullness of joy, right? He, you know, quit his job. You could tell he was just excited. You guys, so how about a little bit later, I see him coming back down the sidewalk, and he was on a bike. And he was like riding on a bike, and he came back down, and he was fascinated by, there was these men that had already had I don't know how to say it, like it was just like you could tell they had money, but it wasn't the right type of money. Like they got it, you know, the wrong way, if you could say. He was like, you know, just the way they were dressed, he was so fascinated about them. Like when he came back down on his bike, his family was nowhere with him. His wife wasn't with him, and his son wasn't with him. And I was like, even literally in my vision, I was like, where, you know, in my mind, like, where is your wife? Wait, where's your kid? You know what I mean? You guys, when this happens, don't leave your family, please. Don't leave your family, because God still sees you, okay? I have no clue why he did that, but I could just tell. It was very interesting because even on his face, he was really excited, and you can just tell it was more of a worldly thing, right? It was just more of, you know, people have their own reasons why they want wealth, and sometimes it's not, I mean, it's just not for God. It really isn't. And okay, so after that, you know, he rode by his bike. He's with these men. So now there's nothing on the sidewalk, okay? And all of a sudden I start to see me and my hubby at this point. I could see us right there, like on the sidewalk. And there was a clothing stand, okay? There was 3 clothing stands just sitting on the sidewalk, okay? Now, with the clothing stands, they had clothes on them already. They just had a lot of clothes on them, like they were just stacked up on each other. All of a sudden, it was like the clothes started to change. Like it was like more clothes being put on, more garments being put on the actual stand. Okay, each stand. Every time another garment was placed on the clothing stand, each one, you guys, every time it was like I heard $1 million, $1 million, $1 million. Okay, and then I was like listening to it go like, and so then the 3 clothing stands, as they're building, right, building with clothes, right, garments, different garments, right, and they're beautiful garments too, by the way, like you can just tell they're expensive. There was many more. 1, 2. It was 2 more. I saw 2 more clothing stands. So now we have 5 in all, and still garments are being placed up there. So then I hear my hubby say, he said, "You bought all these clothes?" And when he said clothes, I heard exchanges, right? And I said, "Yeah, but I can just sell some of them." Okay, so remember, so the clothing stands, they represent exchanges. Like you have all these different exchanges, right? And what we were hearing when I said the garments, and I could just tell it was like $1 million, $1 million, right? That was orders being filled that I was hearing and seeing, or orders being filled. I could just hear it, right? I could just hear it. Oh my gosh. And so it was just going. All right, so at this point, I could see SHIB still going up, you guys. SHIB was still going up. And now at this point, I saw SHIB take off, and it went to $9. So if you think about earlier in the dream when I told you I saw 9 in my right hand corner, it went to $9. Okay, so it went to $9. But as soon as it hit $9 again, I just think God wanted me to see that it was there. Well, I can't even tell you where it went, but I can definitely tell you that it shot past $9. Okay. All right. So now at this point, when that happened, God took me to, or he took me to see someone else's orders, like their phone. And so as I was looking at their phone, I want to say she had, it was like $5 million or something like that on her, her phone. And so I could tell like her orders were filling, right? So it was just filling. All of a sudden she gets just a lot more. And I knew like in my spirit right then, she didn't put that much in to it. Like she didn't have that many orders, but she ended up with way more than she put in. You guys, you do not understand. God was just saying, my gosh, he was just saying, like I could just tell in my spirit, the money that she received, it was pulled from someone else, y'all. It was pulled from someone else's account. It didn't just happen. Like God shifted that money to her account for being obedient. My God, just like when I tell you guys, or certain people, double is your portion. When God says that, this is what he means. Like it's not even that you have to do anything else. He's just going to show up. It's just going to happen. It's just going to be this amazing testimony. But yes, I saw $5 million, and then all of a sudden it was just so much more. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I just knew right then what God had did for her. And that's why God wanted me to bring my attention to her phone. Okay. All right. So we go back. Okay. So at this point, I'm looking at my phone. Okay, because I'm like, oh, in my mind, like, okay, her order's filling and my order's filling, right? Like I'm like thinking about that. And Oh, I'm sorry. So back to the clothes with the exchanges. When my hubby, he said, when I said, yeah, but I can just sell some of them. That's another thing, you guys. When God said in my other videos, get in position, another part of that is you want to put your orders up, but also buy some, have some coins available, so that way you can sell some of them whenever you need to. Just a thought. Okay, so then I end up with my phone and I'm like looking, right? I'm looking at it and I said, I was like, oh wow. So my phone, as I'm looking at the orders, it was like it was an error message on my phone, right? So it was like a quick second in my mind. I was like, oh man, what is wrong, right? Because I just watched hers feel, this woman. I saw her stuff feel, or she got double portion and everything. So then that's what made me want to check my phone. But mine's haven't. It was like it didn't feel yet. It was just an error message, right? And so at that point, briefly, I thought, something was wrong. But then instantly, you guys, I felt a peace come over me within this vision. I had a peace that came over me, and in my spirit, I could hear like my orders will fill. They will fill. They will fill. So that's a word for you guys too. They will fill, okay? They will fill. And so then the beautiful part, so romantic of God, when he said they will fill, as soon as I look at my phone, they was filled. He's so good to us, right? He is so good to us. All right, last part is very important. After, I saw my orders filling, right? And I saw the ladies, and I saw Shib go past $9. So at the end of this, I felt, it was like I saw myself kind of like standing there, and my heart was like kind of troubled a little bit, like it was like scared or fearful a little bit or something. And I know that wasn't me. It was like right at the end, I was like, oh man, my order's filled. Okay, what do I do now? I was just kind of like in a frantic mode, like, okay, what do I do with this now? Like, what do I do? Okay, well, and then I heard, I just knew in my spirit, I was thinking, we need to transfer it to a cold wallet. Okay. All right. So that is instructions, y'all. That's very important. We need to transfer it to a cold wallet. This was an amazing dream and vision that God allowed us to see. That again, he does not have to do what he does, and just show us how much he loves us and how he does not want us to, how he wants us to make sure we're in position, to just make sure we're in position, you guys, because I saw it happen. And it's a beautiful thing for his people. So I want to, of course, I always try to tie it to a scripture. And so I definitely want to take you to, I have one scripture here, Proverbs 13:21 through 22. And this is the King James Version. Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. And then I want to read it in the Amplified. Adversity pursues sinners, but the consistently upright will be rewarded in prosperity. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the hands of the righteous. I wanted to point out this, you guys, because if you think about part one, God was letting us know how he wants us to take care of our children's children, right? How he's going to increase us so much. It's going to be such an overflow that we can take care of our children. They won't have to struggle. They won't have to want for anything. Like, they'll be taken care of, and not only them, their children. How amazing is that? God he doesn't just only think about us. He thinks about generations. That's so beautiful. On top of that, you guys, one thing I wanted to point out is the part where it says, and the wealth, no, I'm sorry. The part where it says, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. Repaid. Think about that. Not paid, repaid. Okay? And then also with the Amplified, but the consistently upright will be rewarded with prosperity. This isn't something you just do one time. You know, you want to be intimate with God. You want to build a relationship with God, right? You want to carry him with you day to day, not just one day. You know, we're not saying, hey Lord, I just need you for today for my own selfish needs, right? We're saying, Lord, I love you. Thank you for taking care of us the way you do. Thank you for choosing us. Thank you for dying, sending your son and dying for our sins. Thank you. What do you need? Right? So I just want to point that out. And the last thing I want to point out here, it says, and the wealth of a sinner is stored up for the hands of the righteous. That's the Amplified. The King James Version, it says, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So with the Bible saying this, and if we compare it with the vision God gave me when he allowed me to see the woman's phone and how her orders filled, you guys, and how she received so much more that she did not put in. Where did that come from? If we think about it, God took it out of the hands of the ones who are not righteous. That's what it means, you know. That's what it means where the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Meaning that the sinner can do all the work and collect all of this, right? But still, God has the final say on where it's going to go. If that is amazing. That is so, God, you are so good. You are so good. And let me tell you, I encourage you again, please don't miss the massive wealth transfer. I know I've been warning you about certain things that are coming, even when it comes to America and so forth. But a great part of this for God's people is the massive wealth transfer that he has. So, you know, you can go back into my videos. I think it was the second one I ever made from the beginning. And, you know, follow God's direction. And that way, as soon as you follow those directions and you repent, or, you know, whatever you feel like you are led to do, God is going to start releasing confirmation to you, and you would know that this is this is for you. Okay? And I encourage you to choose for yourself. Don't allow someone else to tell you if this is for you or not. No, because they have no clue. They have no clue. But all I know, if you are walking with God, this is for you. He said it's massive. He showed me the depths of the sea. Y'all, that's how massive it is. That's how massive the transfer is. So go back to that video. Please follow God's direction. And so God is definitely truly amazing to us, you guys. And so I know I kept saying God is just so good. He's so good. He's so good. And it just reminded me of that song that You're a Good, Good Father. And it's by Chris Tomlin. Such a beautiful song. So if you want, something to meditate on and just to praise or worship God with, please turn that on. You will love it. So that is all that I have, and I pray you guys find hope and encouragement to stick in there. Because if you think about it, the last wealth transfer dream that I had, or message that I had, was the door was closing. Now God is showing us what is happening, right? And then also, the next videos to come, he's actually already showed me how he's going to direct us afterwards. So I'll get those out as soon as I can as well. So I'm not going to hold you any longer. Please, pray on this. Take everything that I share with you, even down to the numbers. Take it all to God. And just remember, even if I did not say a number, if I didn't say, let's just say God's giving you 400. Hey, if it went to $9, it went to $4, right? If it went to $5, it went to $4. So you'll find yourself in all of that, even if I didn't point out the number. God is definitely, he's speaking to you, okay? And not only is he speaking to you, he's speaking to you for you and your children's children. My God. All right, so remember, just test all spirits by the Spirit. And that's all that I have for you for now. God has definitely given me so much more to release to you. You guys do your homework, do what you need to do so you can just be prepared and ready. All the way down to like cold wallets, hot wallets, just gain some understanding there as well. A really good source that I was led to is Crypto Night 1906. Again, that's Crypto Night 1906. But you can reference him because he has a video on what different types of wallets and what they're used for, so you can gain that knowledge and understanding. Okay, so that's all that I have for now. So again, I will be posting more videos. God has given me so much more. Please, subscribe if you like, and comment. We enjoy your comments. I definitely enjoy your comments, especially your dreams and your visions, and and just encouragement, and just the pureness of your words, you guys. Even when there's a lot of times, like there was one post that I read and I could just feel God's heart melt, and he just loves it. He loves it because it's not only encouraging for you to get it out, but someone else can read that and just really find hope in knowing, like, hey, you know what, this is real, like this is true. All right, so remember, you guys, I am just so in love with love. God is definitely love. He is amazing, and we love you. Bye.